Hello friends, I know we are looking for activities for our kids to do during this quarantine, and I am here to help. Today we are going to learn how to make cranes. Right? They are very simple, it doesn't take very long, and it's easy enough even for a 6-year-old to follow. And who knows, maybe you'll learn to make one as well. Let's get folding. Alright, we have our sheet of origami paper. You're going to start with the white side facing up. Your first fold is going to be along the horizontal axis. You want to make sure your corners match up perfectly. Clean folds are essential to a clean crane. Whoa, sorry for that. Sorry, moms and dads. Don't worry about that. Alright, unfold that, rotate 90 degrees, and again, fold along the horizontal axis. Match those corners up perfectly. Again, clean corners, clean crane. Unfold that fold and flip over to the blue side, or colored side, whatever color you're using, and fold along the diagonal axis. Match those corners up perfectly. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Those corners better be perfect. Alright, rotate 90 degrees. Fold along the diagonal axis once again. Clean corners. This is essential. Essential! Unfold that. Alright. Now, you remember those creases we made earlier? We're going to push along those lines. And we're going to make a preliminary base. Pushing those diagonal creases toward the center, and then make the model flat, creating a smaller square. This is called a preliminary base. You might have to rewind that last bit a couple of times to see exactly what I did. Alright, this next fold is called a kite fold. What you're going to do is take that edge and follow it to the center. Fold it to the center. Fold it all the way down to the bottom. Do the same thing with the other side. To the center, crease all the way down to the bottom. So now the front kind of looks like your classic kite. Now flip that over and repeat on the other side with another kite fold. I sometimes like to call this close the kitchen cabinets. You know how your average kitchen cabinet closes towards the center? Well, this is kind of like that, but it looks like a kite. Try to make sure those creases at the bottom are as sharp as possible. Alright, unfold that kite and flip it back over. Unfold the other kite. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the top triangle along this line here, this imaginary line. I'm going to draw on my model so you can see exactly what we're doing. But the points we created with our kite, we're going to fold along that line. So fold that triangle down along that line. Be sure not to fold it down beneath those creases. Flip it back over. Now this part's kind of tricky, so pay attention. You're only going to lift the top layer of paper. As you lift, you'll notice these doors coming into the center. Right? Now you're not creating any new creases when you do this. You're just going to have to help it a little bit. Kind of stick your fingers into the corners, help it, and as you do that, it should close perfectly and create this diamond shape. Alright, flip that back over. Flip that same triangle back to the top. And again, lift only the top layer of paper. As you lift, those doors are going to close in on themselves. Don't create any new creases, just help them along their way. You might have to turn some creases the other direction, but don't create any new ones. Try to make that top as pointy as possible. Now what you have here is a bird base. This is used to make mini origami bird models. Now to make the crane, we're going to make another kite fold, or again, closing the kitchen cabinets. So fold the sides toward the center. Just the top layers. Again, try to keep the bottom as pointy and clean as possible. This will affect the appearance of your final crane. Now, flip it over and repeat. Folding toward the center. Try not to go over the center line, otherwise you're going to have a mess later. Now this next one is kind of fun. We call it turning the page, where you take the side portion and you basically turn the page like you would on a book. You basically flip it over, and then you turn it over and you repeat. Now take the bottom layer and you flip it up to the top of the bird. It should match perfectly. So all the points should be matching. Now flip it over, take that bottom point and bring it to the top. Now remember how we turned the page. Well, you're going to flip it back now. So take those two layers. Now you'll notice that point we turned is getting a lot of layers. It's going to start looking kind of bunched up and a little bit messy. So you're going to have to use your fingers to kind of help it as you try to flip it back. And if it doesn't look perfect, don't worry about it too much. You notice I'm kind of leaving this as it is, so I'm not folding it all the way, just the bottom part, just to keep it looking nice. The rest of it, we're going to deal with that later. Alright, now the other part, again, turn the page back, and I'm going to help the rest of this. Now this one looks a little bit cleaner. This one looks much nicer than the other one, but I'm going to help it. Try to be as pointy as possible. Try to crease that. Oh yeah, that one looks much better than the other one. And this just takes practice. Yours are probably not going to look as nice as this one the first time, but practice makes perfect on these models. Now pull it down from the model just like I did here. I'll do it with the other side too. Pull it down from the model and pinch at the bottom. Alright, now you notice I've got my clean one and my not so clean one. This is going to be our head. Alright, the clean one we want to be the tail. So the head, what you're going to do is push the head in between itself. This is called inside reverse fold. Push it inside itself and pinch the head on itself. Alright, and I'm going to kind of do what I can to make this head look a little bit nicer. Trying to make it pointier. It's not going to be perfect, but it does look nicer now. There we go. Now, you ready for the fun part? This is the fun part. Take the wings, and I want you to spread them. Slowly spread them out. Oh, yeah. That looks nice. Now it looks like he had a full breakfast. There, that's a beautiful bird. Now, you just leave it like that. That could be a finished crane right there. That's your classic bird. But I like to go a couple of steps further. What you can do is start rolling its wings between your index finger and your thumb. And after a few rolls, you'll notice that the wing starts to look like he's flying. It looks like he's in the middle of a wing flap. And I don't know, I think it just looks kind of cool. Yeah, just like that. And do it with the other wing too. Just keep rolling it, kind of curling between your thumb and your index finger. And that way he looks like he's mid-flight. And then pull his body out again. Now we've got one more problem. You set him on the table and he just doesn't want to sit up. He just topples side to side, side to side. It's kind of annoying. So there's a way we can fix that. On the bottom, you notice he doesn't really have a base to sit on. So I want you to spread his neck and just really spread him while he goes, ow, 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 what are you doing? Ow, ow. But you're giving him a base to sit on. Do the same thing with his tail. Spread it apart while he goes, ow, ow, what are you doing to my butt? Ow, ow, that is so messed up, man. But now, when you go back to the top, you spread those wings apart again. You'll set him on the table and look, he sits up perfectly. And there's your finished crane. Isn't he gorgeous? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Keep folding, and I will see you next time.